This is true. Is he putting 3 cards in the bottom, by the way? Did he mull to 4?
Uh, Roland is known for aggressively mulliganing
All
with
right.
Mono Red
I think
Prison.
we
Yeah,
just saw a mull to 4.
he finds his selection off of the London Mull.
So a mull to
He
4 and a
starts-
mull to 6.
Start off with a tomb and a pass, and we got a wasteland on the tomb. So that might be all she wrote.
Yeah. Well, basic mountain drops.
All right, we got a fetch and a pass. Draw go, a little draw go. It's still some gentleman's magic in this game.
Yes. Here's Ancient Tomb and Trinisphere.
So not a bad start on a turn 2 Trinisphere, or I guess a turn 3 Trinisphere through a wasteland.
Right.
I don't know how much Alan cares about this. I mean, it'll time walk him,
Yeah.
but beyond that, we'll see. I mean, I don't know what outs he has. He doesn't have any main deck outs, so it's just going to happen, I guess.
A mild inconvenience more than anything else, I would bet.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mild inconvenience, and also he's under no pressure with Roland only on 2 cards from that mulligan, so
Right.
I think this'll time walk, but I don't even know if you would have that many big turn 2 plays to begin with. Maybe a Sylvan Library, which might get stranded in his hand if he has one, but I'm not too sure beyond that. Yeah, he's going to play another fetch, and I guess it's going to pass over unless he's got. Yeah, it just passes it over.
Hulk and Bulk, good evening. Welcome.
Good evening. Yes, good evening.
Chromox cast here.
3 mana Chrome Mox. Let's go.
And no imprint, I guess.
Or is he imprinting the giant? I think he's imprinting the giant.
Oh, you're right. I didn't see that off to the side.
Yeah.
You're right.
So he imprints the giant. So he's got 4. He's got access to 4 mana double red. So all of his spells are online.
Yeah.
I think a Dak Fade in here stealing the Chrome Mox would be game ending,
That's true, it would.
and it would also be a big spot on the bingo card.
Dropping a DAC would be really good for the bingo card people.
Yeah. It would not only win this game outright in this particular moment, but it would also score big on the bingo card. I doubt that he has it, though, because he's kind of in the tank. He's cracking both to cast something, but I think if he had one of his Planeswalkers, I think the move is definitely to hit that Chrome Mox.
So, lands, though, typically, does not want to see Blood Moons. How likely can Alan come back if a Blood Moon resolves early on in one of these games?
I think it depends on how fast the Blood Moon is. If he's got access to at least his basic forest, then he will likely be able to operate pretty much without too much issue. Oh nope, he's slamming an Oko. Yeah, I think it depends. If Roland is on the play and has like a turn 1 Blood Moon, I think that's probably game over unless he naturally has a basic in his hand. But if he can get a land drop, so whether it's a fetch or just enough to get or has a mana up so he can crop rot.
That's
so he's actually going after he's going after the Trinisphere with that Oko, which is interesting to me because he could go after it on the following turn and cut Roland off of double red, but he's going to let him have it. Would you have gone after the 3-ball there?
Guess it depends on what Alan has in his hand.
Yeah.
But it does not feel important looking at it with as little information as we have right now.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that if you go after the Chrome Mox, you cut a second red source, which is really big for Roland, and then you can deal with the 3-ball on the follow-up. But it looks like we have a Karn off of a City of Traders, so that play actually wouldn't have even been relevant had he gone after the Chrome Mox, at least in this instance. But an interesting play to ask Alan after this game.
And it looks like he's going to the sideboard here.
Dips in. It looks like we're likely to see a sideboard card be played in a game 1 in a non-sideboard game. So
Liquid
even though we already have the bingo, the squares keep coming.
Yeah. I mean, if you joined us late, you're starting the bingo card wherever you're starting it, right?
Yeah, you get it. And he's going to slam the coding. So that coding's actually going to be able to shut down Oko for the turn. and then he'll be able to check it. So not a bad mull to 4 here. Turn 3 Karn through a wasteland, or I guess a turn 4 Karn through a wasteland, and this liquid metal coating is going to check that Oko from doing any damage.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so we're back to figuring out now what Alan needs to do. He's going to liquid metal that Oko.
I mean, I assume that he's going after the Oko.
Yeah,
if he's going
it
after
looks
the,
like
he might be going after the lands to cut Alan off of mana. But if he checks the Oko here, then his yeah, there you go. Thanks Alan for marking that. It would now that 3-ball can take down the Oko on the following turn, assuming there's no block put in the way. But so what I learned last week when I played, and I tried to, I was getting beaten down by Elks, and I tried to Force of Vigor the Elks, thinking that they were still artifacts, but they're not, right? So I learned that last week. So that 3-ball Elk, if Alan has a DAC, he can't take it.
Right.
So that unless there is an actual physical blocker, like an actual creature in the way, that DAC or that Oko will not be long for this world. But he can steal the liquid metal coating, and then that liquid metal coating with a DAC fitting can start stealing Roland's permanents.
That's right.
So
kind of neat to steal a DAC, but you got to loot with DAC a couple of times per.
Yeah. I mean, Roland is hellbent right now, so I mean, I get that he has another Karn activation, but I would imagine he's just going to now that Oko's down, he's just going to start nuking lands here. I don't think he needs to do much else other than.
Agreed.
Like I imagine he's just going to start checking these green sources. Yeah, I guess he could lattice. That is possible. He could just lattice here. I don't know. Is there anything that he would fear
there
on
is
the
a
back end?
blast
I don't
zone
think
on the board.
Well, yeah, a lattice would shut it down. So.
I mean, as of right now, like.
Yeah, that's true. Right that's true. Jason caught it. If he can't, he doesn't want to go for a lattice and then throw it into a crop rotation. So.
Yeah.
The blast zone is tapping for mana. I guess now that he's targeted it with the liquid metal coating, he's got to check it with Karn, right?
Yeah. Oh, Trinisphere is offline. Yeah.
You can't. Oh, yeah, you're right. You can't crop and make the token. Yeah, the Depths doesn't tap for mana. I'm so used to Depths tapping for mana off of Urborg. Yeah, so I guess he could have gone for the lattice there.
Yeah, I mean, we could potentially see a Merit Lage this turn.
No, well, the Merit Lage, he would need an additional source of mana because if he crop rots, he won't have enough mana to activate the stage.
But isn't he floating a mana? Or he was?
He was. So we actually are seeing a lattice here. He went for the liquid metal coating to shut off a land, but now he's going for the lattice.
I see.
And we're seeing, in response, we're going to see a crop rot taking down the trop. What are his outs here? What could his outs possibly be?
I'm not sure.
Maybe he plays a long game off of a Field of the Dead, but that Karn is just going to take it down. Yeah, he's just going to get a Depths here.
Yeah, so he has enough. Yeah, he has enough. I was right the first time. Okay. So Merit Lage is going to get made here. Okay.
Yeah, you're getting this good old commentary on me not being able to count to 4.
No, you just forgot about the floating mana. It's all good. The Merit Lage. Oh, okay. He scoops. Yeah. Okay, Multi 5 for Alan. And rolling
Mountain
on
Chrome Mox. He's going to get rid of Simian Spirit Guide on the Chrome Mox. That's kind of meta. And he's going to go Chalice on 1. So that's going to check Exploration. That'll check Crop Rotation.
Is Fires a good out to Planeswalkers? I guess so.
Fires meaning...
Punishing Fire? I think that's what he's talking about. Punishing Fire, right? What other fires?
Punishing Fire is just very slow. I mean, it is,
slow, yeah.
but it's just going to be very slow. A Sylvan Library is a really good play here for turn one play for Alan off of Mox Diamond.
Yep. Discarding Wasteland. Wasteland not very good in this matchup. You can shave
No,
those.
not really. I think also Alan's probably going to aggressively draw cards here because his life total is not really going to get taxed outside of a Chandra and then a Confluence. But Confluence doesn't really do much in this matchup outside of sweep Field of the Dead tokens, really.
Right.
I mean, it could blow up a Mox, but I don't think that you're necessarily thinking I'm going to keep in Confluences to blow up Moxen.
All right, so another Chrome Mox dropped here, exiling Pyroblast.
Yep, Pyroblast is a good check because he saw an Oko, so he knows that it is a relevant piece of cardboard.
Blood Moon.
And there it is. Blood Moon comes down. So that Mox Diamond's going to do a lot of good work for Alan here.
You know, I know it's not relevant in this matchup, but that's why sometimes you'll see, like a blue-red Delver deck, Spell Piercer, Daze, a first-turn Mox Diamond, in hopes that they can land their Blood Moon and give you no mana whatsoever.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that Mox Diamond, all of the lands decks lean really hard on Mox Diamond.
Yep.
It probably isn't as like common knowledge how important that card is in the deck, but it's huge.
Agreed.
So he plays a mountain and passes the turn.
There's Rabble Master.
There's Rabble Master. So I guess I was incorrect that you take out the goblins.
Yeah, maybe you trim some. Who knows?
Some amount of pressure coming in for a damage. So Alan down to 15 after he paid 4 off the Sylvan Library.
Ah, okay. I missed that.
Yeah, he went down to 16. He hasn't taken damage otherwise so far, so he drew a card off that Sylvan Library. And
Goblin attacks.
Now we'll see if Alan actually did. It doesn't seem like he brought in, or he has a Punishing Fire. So if he left them in, he doesn't seem to have one in his hand because we did go to combat and a Goblin is hitting here, so.
All right, Sylvan Library. What does Alan need here?
I mean, he definitely needs a removal spell for that Goblin first and foremost. I think he's set up to play a longer game. If trading cards is what you want to be doing, then playing a game on Sylvan Library is good. He's going to be under a lot of pressure to make a move. If that Rabble Master gets to stick around and start generating tokens. So he's got Forest. So he has access to spells that he can cast through this Blood Moon. Outside of... I don't think there's anything. Yeah, he could cast pretty much anything in his deck at this point. He's got 3 cards in hand. He's at 15, and a big chunk of Goblin damage is going to come through. I don't imagine there's going to be any response. Nope. And he's just going to take it all to face. He drops to 9, taking 6 damage. And a second Blood Moon. That seems totally fine. Alan is equipped to play through a single Blood Moon, so I can't imagine stacking them up is going to change the plan all that much.
Alan in a good position here. I mean, sorry, Roland.
Roland's in a good position, yeah. I mean, the Blood Moons seem to be dealt with, but the goblins are the pressure. I mean, silly me thinking that you board those guys out. I guess he's on 3 mana. Roland hasn't played a 4th mana source yet, and that pressure's good. So we have a 4 mana play incoming. Assume Force of Vigor is going to hit.
Is that Force of Vigor?
Yeah, I can't quite tell, but it sure looks like it.
I think it is.
I assume it's foiled out, which is why it's hard to tell. But 4 mana instant speed spell. What else could it possibly be? So I think he's going to go after. He can go after the Chalice and a Mox if he feels set up to play against Blood Moon. That way he can open up some crop rotation. Yep, Chrome Mox down, and yeah, he's okay. So yeah, he's going to go after a Mox and a Chalice, which seems good. It's kind of rough, right? You draw two of your best card, and your opponent just doesn't care about it.
That's true, yeah. And it's your best card specifically against this
In the matchup,
particular.
yeah, yeah. Like open on 7, it's exactly what you want to find. Now,
Yeah.
the Goblin coming in next turn is going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So
Yeah.
right now he's at 9. So unless he has some serious action, he's not going to be able to keep an additional card off the Sylvan Library. Not even, Oko also isn't really good in this position. I mean, you can plus hitting the. You can plus targeting the Goblin, but that's still a decent amount of damage swinging in. And Oko by itself isn't going to be fast enough. We just see a pass of the turn here on 4 mana. So on the table is not quite lethal, but it's pretty close. It'll push Alan to 1.
All right. Goblins are attacking.
Goblins do what goblins do. Let's see if Alan blocks with anything other than his face. He does not. Drops to 1. And now I imagine we're going to have to see some action here. A crop rotation would clear the way.
Karn.
We get big Karn off a Soul Land.
Oh, something happened. Oh, he can't cast Karn. He forgot he has a Blood Moon in play.
Alan knows his way around a Blood Moon. Yes, we got a Crop Rot hitting the Taiga. He floated a mana.
I'm going to tell... Roland, that's a warning.
Wow,
Okay.
yellow card him.
It's
Toss up the
commentating to
yellow.
I just had to tell him, Phil, that he got a warning for that.
Yeah, tell him if you get multiple yellows, then you
get a
get
red
red carded.
card.
You don't play next week. Yeah. All right, so we got depths coming in. How does he take it from here? Depths by itself here does not beat Gabos.
No, he needs to force of vigor those Blood Moons, and then gain
Well,
15 life, and then attack with Marrow Age.
well, if he's floating a mana right now.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. He's got to have something else here. I don't think a 2020 by itself is not going to do it. So he went for Dark Depths, but then just goes to his draw step and looks at the top 3 with Sylvan Library. So what are his outs here? How does he beat a string of Gabos?
I don't think he can.
He doesn't. Yeah, he
that's
just picks it up.
2 on the bottom. Phil's back.
So we got a. What did I miss here? We got a
Grove to start. Yeah,
Where?
a multiply for Alan. City of Traders.
So we got a Chrome Mox here.
Mages. Is that pretty good?
I think if you have a Blood Moon at all,
All right, it dies.
I guess it's not long for this world. So he does keep in the bolts. I guess that he brought the bolts back in for the Rabble Masters, which he knows are still in the deck.
What happened there? Oh, waste on the city. Okay.
Where's the city? Back over to Alan. So Alan cracks a fetch.
Ancient Grudge on the Chromox. Is this game?
I think it's probably close. If we don't see any plays now from Roland, which we don't, then this could just be a quick one.
That's being stage dropped. So he's a card away from making a Merit Lage here. Copy something with Thespian Stage, I guess.
I think he copied the forest. Yeah,
Makes sense. Protect it.
copies the forest. Plays another grove.
Basic Mountain.
He's going to play a Chalice on 1 after pitching a Simian Spirit Guide. And it's just going to stick, so that's just a round. Got a crack of a fetch here. Do we know how many cards are in Roland's hand? He's got 4 cards, it looks like.
At least 4, yeah.
Yeah, so he's still got a full grip, so we'll see what Alan's plan is to leverage this mana advantage that he has now.
Dak.
That looks like a Dak Faden to me.
That's good for the bingo card.
This sweet alt that what's that from? What's that from?
Mythic Edition.
Mythic Edition Dak. I think that might be the first time I've ever seen somebody play a Mythic Edition Dak.
I've played one.
Yeah, oh, you have one too? Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's going to faithlessly loot here. For anybody who's still watching, that Thespian Stage is currently a forest, so he
Yes.
has multiple green mana still up. Going to dump some lands. He's got a card in hand, and he just ships it back. So Dak is also a really good permanent to have in play because it's going to cut any like no Chrome Mox lines. So it furthers the mana denial plan.
Yep. Chalice, not really relevant.
No, not particularly. I mean, it's unfortunate that Dak by himself isn't a win condition like every other Planeswalker is these days. But I mean, I guess it could be under the right circumstances. But he's just dumping 2 cards, and now one of those cards was a Loam, so he's going to get some Loam action going now. So Loam plus Dak is going to be very good. He flips over an Oko, so there's one threat gone at least.
What's that card in the top middle?
The top middle that he just cast?
Yeah, wait, what is that?
My guess is that it's a Loam, because he just stretched it back and...
Okay, that's like a... What do you call it? Ultimate Masters Top Decker? I don't know what you call that.
1, 2, 3, yeah. Yeah. Alan's always got all the tricked out stuff. So, Loam's back 3 lands, and now he's going to faithlessly loot a little bit more.
Leon, thanks for the cheer. We just double bingoed for the first time in history. Thanks to Leon. And Leon enjoyed a beer.
Bingo.
So thank you,
Yeah,
Leon.
Leon just wanted to grab another drink.
Leon just wanted another beer so bad, yeah.
So we're seeing some really cool interactions here. We're seeing, so he has the Loam and the Dak going. He played the Loam, then faithlessly looted, and then off of the second draw on the Dak, he decided to dredge again. And then dumps the Loam back again. And now we have a Roshaden port. So We're heavy on the mental denial plan, boys. It's a lot of action against a couple of mountains on Roland's side. He just plays one and passes. So that port, Alan has enough action right now where he can turn the stage into a port and start double porting next turn if that's the route that he wants to go. Just playing a super long game here, denying Roland resources.
Yep.
Got another loam. Yeah, Leon. It's these kinds of Dirtle lines that I enjoy seeing against a couple of mountains.
Dak Faden doing something. Okay, double loot. Loam the second. Roland just needs to make a Merit Lage and end this. I mean, Alan. I keep saying the wrong name. Alan.
Alan does. Yeah.
The longer he lets this go, the more Roland has a chance. He just needs to put him away. Wasteland. He passes the turn. No port. Or he's thinking about port. No port. Interesting. Yeah, that's kind of the deal with Red Prison. You either do a lot or you do very little. Here's Mages.
Yeah, I mean you're kind of set up for that. That's how it goes. Yeah, I mean the Magus is a little too late here. There's a crop rot, so we should be close to finished up here. I mean, if he wants to go for a, he doesn't have any acceleration,
triggers, though.
Got caught on the Chalice.
He did.
I also forgot about the Chalice too, and we're staying right at it. So
yeah, easier for us though. We're not playing. All right, Chalice is dead
and now
for some
the
reason?
Grudge takes it down. So
oh, Grudge. Yeah,
he fired the Grudge. Yeah. It happens. I mean, he was doing a lot of dexterity work, moving a bunch of cards into different zones. So
now he just gets wrecked by that Magus. That's rough. He might have just lost this game. Oh no, Bolt takes it out. Okay, so he's still alive. A sigh of relief for Alan. Ultimate for Dak. Wait, what is Dak's ultimate again? What does it do?
Dak's ultimate is whenever a spell you control targets a permanent, you gain control of that permanent.
Gotcha. Here's Dark Depths.
So I imagine we're going to see the 20/20 here.
Yep.
And close the door, and that'll do it.
Let's check in with the players.
Man, through some Blood Moons.